mind readers, as I welcome you back to another long-awaited episode of Readers Aside. I really wasn't waiting for it, because I'm not I'm not the guy that waits for it. That would be the audience. You wait for it. I don't wait for it. I just do it when I feel like I want to do it, and then I don't do it when I don't. Like that's the other side of the coin. That on the other side that you are on. That's what it looks like or feels like. Because we're both looking in opposite directions. Anyways, that feel like that maybe I'll just try out. Okay, we're going here, yeah. All right, so sorry, I was somewhat unconventional. As I began that episode, I actually was not in the Cliff Goes Live studio. I am now. You just heard the door close. I was actually sitting in here, preparing for what it's worth, if you can call preparing for today's episode, and just kind of decide whether I should leave this goddamn annoyingly bright fucking light on, or I should shut it off. Because oftentimes I like shutting it off, I just leave that door open behind me, and then so the light from the hallway, it sort of glances in, and I read with my back to the door, and so the light comes in off my shoulder, and I read like that. But and that works if I'm feeling fairly alert and like awake, and but I've been chuffed for a few, and I don't think I slept. I didn't sleep last night. I don't believe so. No, I was chuffed last night. I was quite chuffed. No, I'm just like I'm just I'm just gonna move on. I'm so chuffed. I'm just tired. It's the same thing, really. It just happens differently. All right, so anyway, so here we go. What was I? Did I mention I was grabbing an umbrella? That's what I was in the other room for. I was grabbing an umbrella. I had this brilliant idea. I was like, the ball cap just doesn't seem like quite enough. It just doesn't, like, maybe if I had a fucking cowboy hat, like that guy that was fucking walking into the liquor store there a few minutes ago, maybe that would be enough too. But umbrella would still even have been better than that. So, like, and I'm not a big umbrella person, not really. I think they're more useful in the shade, to be honest with you. Okay, I'm going to set this down for a moment. Try to work this umbrella. Sometimes umbrellas can be a little tricky, I've noticed. Oh, there it goes. There's always a button somewhere, eh? Kind of lucky I had that pointed away from me when that happened. Wow, this thing's fairly large, eh? It's like, okay, so how am I going to... Now, I guess I have to hold on to it too, sort of. Shit, I didn't really think that out. Maybe I can just kind of rest it on my shoulder. Sort of right, huh? Well, hold on there. Maybe you can hear me just fine, can't you? We've done this before. So there's a pretty mild, low drone tonight in the room. I'd say that's almost like a level 1. That's really as low as it gets. And so that's not so bad. And I always tend to just kind of talk louder anyways when I'm not holding on to it. It's just out of habit, or out of a cause for thinking I have cause to do so, right? Which I probably don't even. Damn it! I'm not like this umbrella shit here. This was a fucking dumb idea. Holy shit. You know what? It's not a dumb idea. Just stop trying to pick your nose while you're holding the umbrella. Maybe that would make it a little bit fucking easier, man. Holy crap. See, I'm not very, I call it coordinated, but it's not really not coordination. Maybe it's like mental coordination. As in, like, when I start to, I got the book in one hand, I got the umbrella in the other hand. Book's in the right hand, umbrella's in the left. And I did that almost automatically. And I can tell you now, as I'm analyzing it, that was by choice. That was by a, like, unconscious choice. Because I can't even imagine sitting here holding the book in the left hand. The book seems to be more firmly planted in the right hand. The book needs to be in the right hand. The umbrella is a not a very common item with me. So in fact, I think I would probably rather hold the umbrella in the right hand. I guess maybe this just means, you know, well, obviously I'm right-handed, so maybe that's what all that is, huh? Because I was trying to pick my nose there for a moment and trying to talk at the same time, and I kept noticing as I was doing that, and my attention was being diverted away from what I was physically doing. Did my hands get all jumbled up and try to start like doing everything, like independently, but both at the same time or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like both hands were trying to grab like both things for like no fucking real sane reason at all. It just like it was as if it did. It like it still knew things. It knew what, like, my hands knew the job to be doing, but the moment I kind of sort of like stopped giving my attention, they panicked, and each one of them like doesn't really trust the other, you know, to kind of like hold up its end of the bargain or some shit like that, and which, you know, that kind of also makes sense too if it was like that, you know. Like the left hand is probably always, you know, getting the short end of the fucking the old trust stick or something. Is there a trust stick that people hold? For fuck's sakes. Alright, so you know what, let's just get into it here. I have the umbrella. I'm going to try this out. It is much nicer. I guess I can take my hat off. It's much nicer not having to, because that fucking light is just ungodly bright. I swear that's got to be for like a... It's got to be for like a normal fucking size living room, that light. It's that fucking bright, people. It's that bright. You could have dinner with fucking half your extended family under this goddamn light. And I'm in a room that could fucking barely... It could barely hold me if I laid down flat. Word. Fucking The Rock would have to fucking crouch probably. Or go in the fetal position. He might even have to crouch too. Like, well, he's not that tall quite, but he wouldn't want to be jumping. Wouldn't be a lot of room for the people's elbow. He could probably lay a decent fucking smackdown though, or where is it? Rock bottom. Fuck me. Sorry about that. You could probably lay a decent fucking rock bottom if you just fucking, you know, kept her nice and tight. Oh, I just knocked over the fucking sanitizer. Just laid the rock bottom on the sanitizer. No, I laid the smack. I'm getting my fucking, my rock, catchphrase is, all fucked up. But that's alright too, because, not like they ever made a lot of sense. See, so here, oh my god, it just happened again. As I was talking, look what's going on now. Now, for some damn reason, whereas my right hand was handling the book just fine on its own, as I was beginning to talk about the rock for some reason in this room, and the umbrella, and probably all stemmed from the umbrella. as it kept going on and on and on, and I looked down and I go, all right, okay, fuck this. Let's get on with it. I look down at my hands, and what are my hands doing? My left hand still wrapped firmly around the like the handle of the umbrella, and but like crushed in between my thumb and my forefinger and my middle finger, like in the knuckles, right in the knuckles, mind you, like between the inside of my thumb and the knuckles. I'm just like clutching the other half of the book, as if it just clawed at it for some reason. Because like my sort of like automaton body intelligence, my robot body intelligence can tell when fucking like it's when it's being left alone, I guess. Maybe that's it. And it just starts fucking clutching that shit. Fuck, robots are dumb. I don't trust AI. And I don't trust it because fucking... What I don't trust about it is I don't trust AI being fucking... like I'm not impressed by it. I'm not intimidated by it. Like I won't ever accept like any kind of defeat to AI. Fuck that. It's just a computer, man. Alright, so I'm now trading hands. And I've traded the umbrella over to my right hand, and I've actually just set the book down on my lap. That again also was done unconsciously. And that one appears to work, actually. Maybe it's just kind of the hands that are clumsy. And that would make a lot of sense too, because like the fingers really complicate things a lot. Particularly if you're like trying to grab at some things, two things at once. You know, the fingers, they got different bends in them and shit, and they can go back one way, and next thing you know, you got one of those things going on where like, what was that? I thought I just heard a door close. It was probably just the sub place putting the garbage away, like it usually is. But anyways, right? So like for instance, like if someone gets like rigor mortis or some shit like that, or like you stiffen up sometimes if you have like high tension or something like that, or hypertension, or someone has like a stroke and their fingers go all like rigidly in different directions. That's what I'm saying. They have that in them, like you know what I mean? And sort of like that's sort of like what happens when I'm not really paying attention, and my hands are still trying to do shit. The fingers kind of fucking they kind of it goes almost right down to the fucking individual knuckle that keeps trying to fucking grab at its own thing too. It's like, oh, let me help you. I'll help you. It's like, no, man, you're fucking back off. I don't need you. Like you can't use each individual muscle in the hand working on its own. You have to they have to be together. They need to be directed together. You know what I mean? I think what I've described is the complete antithesis of a master pianist and his method. The complete antithesis. Because the master pianist, you know, his method, his whole being is just based on like everything right down from the molecules to the follicles on top of his head. that shit's all fucking, that shit's all in sync, right? That's why that's how they can play that shit. So how they can play that shit, and they don't really, they don't really have to, do it when they're doing it. They just do it. Me holding the umbrella right now is probably as far as possible from fucking from the master pianist archetype as you could get. However, I'm always kind of amazed, do you think I feel like Glenn Gould was probably a clumsy man, or maybe he wasn't. How could he have been? He just seemed so very anxious and kind of like out of it and shit. Alright, 16 minutes now. Well, alright, I didn't expect the umbrella thing to kind of drag on, but it did. So, first episode in a while, so maybe, let's cut out the shit now and just get back into it, eh? Let's get back on horse. Not to mention I rode horses recently for real. I really rode horses for real. So, fuck. I guess I can kind of almost say that. Hey, you know what I mean? I can say that now. Let's get back on a horse. It does feel differently, actually. Well, it just makes me think of when I rode those horses last week. Two of them on 2 different days. One of them each day. Okay. So tonight I will be reading a Stephen King novel. A bit of a change of pace, a more modern novel. This is one of his newest ones too. I've read much Stephen King in the past. I don't think I've read any Stephen King in maybe 10 or so years. But I read much when I was younger. And enjoyed much. When's this one from? This is one of his newer ones. Uh, 2022. Aye. 2022. Aye. Alright, so he's probably had another, 14 books since then? Alright. Oh, how can one guy write more than most people can possibly read? Anyways, so this book's called A Fairy Tale. It's pretty good. It's definitely picked up in the past little bit, but it's not like it dragged before that, because you kind of knew you were waiting for something like that. You knew that the basic synopsis of the story. Kid finds some sort of door or portal or some shit like that in a shed somehow, and to another world. That was basically the synopsis of the book. So I was like, word, finds a fucking door, another world, and yes, because that just takes you back to fucking the Dark Tower series if you've read that right. Of course it was not quite that. It wasn't not quite the same. It's not like a door and all that. It's like a well that just keeps going down until you're in another world, which is actually pretty fucking cool too. And it's not his shed. And other than that, I'm just gonna sit here and twirl my umbrella and knock into shit, and I'm gonna start reading. The umbrella actually is really starting to kind of distract me, but I'm gonna see. The problem is that I can't really lean it against my shoulder. Or maybe I can. It's not too bad. Alright. Well, no, now it wants to fall. Okay. You know what? No one has to see how this is, how all this is being held together, so I'm not going to describe it. And I'm bringing this, I got this closer to me now. I just feel more comfortable reading like this. Alright, so the umbrella, the book, and the recorder are all in some fashion being held by me right now. And I think I've actually, it's a little sore, it's a little, there we go, trying to get it off my shoulder blade there. Alright, so I'm almost 250 pages in now. It's a Stephen King book, so she goes another 600 pages, which is, I would say, average for Stephen King. It's not long for him, certainly not. Pretty average. It's about average for him, 600-700 pages, some shit like that. Chapter whatever we were at here now. Chapter 14. The chapter had a name, but I'm not really going to bother with it. Yeah, I don't want to. The names of the chapters don't really seem like, they're kind of throwaway names, basically. It's almost just like a tiny synopsis of like, it'll be like this person's name, that person's name, and then it'll be like the name of a thing, right? And those two people and that thing are involved in this chapter. That's what it is. It's not really it's fairly unimpressive, actually. Like maybe he's got to the point where it's just like, I'm not coming up with chapters. I don't give a shit, man. They're unnecessary. This is what's coming up. So I don't know. Maybe it's impressive. Maybe it isn't. I don't really. I guess I'm not really one to really judge or even give a shit on that. So that was chapter 14. I said yes. Chapter 14. And, they're not very long chapters. They are kind of divided up into smaller parts here. And I believe I'm at part 6, which I believe is the final part of this chapter. And so let's just get right into it here. And readers aside. The only door in the cottage that, wait a second. Yeah. Pardon me. The only door in the cottage that didn't lead to the back or front was low and Dora-sized. Readers aside. So that's I was going to let that one slip, but seeing as how, the woman's name is Dora, it sounds like door, and we're talking about doors here, and the doors being Dora-sized, I felt like, first sentence back, first episode back, first sentence, I'll cut you some slack. The guy is staying at some woman's place. Her name is Dora, D-O-R-A, and she's very small. So the doors are Dora-sized. Did you get it? Alright. And readers aside. After she had cleaned up our little supper, she shooing me away when I tried to help. Readers aside, I'm actually fairly chopped here, so I'm just gonna try to take this slowly. And readers aside. She went in the door and came out 5 minutes later wearing a nightgown that reached to her bare feet. And the end of the page too, apparently. It reached to her bare feet and in a kerchief on what remained of her hair. What? Did I miss a page? What happened? She went in this door and came out 5 minutes later wearing a nightgown that reached to her bare feet and a kerchief on what remained of her hair. Right, that's what they use kerchiefs for. Is it kerchief? Right, readers aside. Is it kerchief or is it a kerchief or kerchief? I feel like that's the way that people would say it if they said it a lot. Kerchief, yes. And these things are used to wrap up women's hair, I believe. Yes, that's right. Oftentimes, also to display gang affiliations in usually in the urban centers in the USA also, and I'm sure other parts of the world too. They love colors in the USA. They like being blue and red. So stupid. Even their gangs are blue and red. Good lord. Like you almost wonder if what were we talking about, the Crips and Bloods? I bet they were started by fairly young people when it was started, right? Like they were probably the people that founded it. These fucking hardened motherfuckers were probably like 14 years old, right? And they're like, we'll wear the blue bandanas because they wear the red ones. We fucking hate them. You know what I mean? Like, you really telling me some like fucking some fucking like a street digested fucking reborn fucking Moses of the fucking urban Palisades gang member, dude, cares about colors? You really think that? I don't think that person. I think they have more to worry about than colors and shit. Like everything I said that came before that certainly sounded very complicated. Um, all right, Andrew's aside. Some bit of kerchief on her hair. Yeah, Andrew's aside. The sneakers were in one hand. She put them carefully, reverently, on a shelf at the bed of her head. God damn it, at the head of her bed. At the bed of her head. Oh, yes. Or, no, my God, I did it again. At the head of her bed. Whoa. Oh, I can't see very well, I'm noticing. Like, my vision is blurred. It's because I haven't been sleeping enough. That's why that happens. That makes it, when the vision starts to go, it's when, you really actually start feeling fairly impaired. Alright, oh, sorry, I was reading through it. Here's the side, and then open, dot, shut, and, closed, and here's the side. There was something else there. When I asked for a closer look, she held it out to me, obviously reluctant to hand it over. Oh, I gotta put my feet up. Oh my God. Get straight. Oh my God. I've been having some, oh, sorry, read aside. Oh, I've been having some back pain. I've been having some back pain, I tell you. Oh. Oh. Alright, and read aside. Did I just read that or what? There was something else there, and after she okay, it was a small. Oh boy, it was a small framed photograph of Mr. Bowditch holding a puppy who was obviously Radar. Dora held it to her bosom, patted it, and put it back near the sneakers. She pointed to the little door. Then at me. I took my toothbrush and went in. I haven't seen many privies except in books and a few old movies, but I guess that. Yeah, well, boy, I guess that even if I had seen a lot, this one would have been the neatest. Yes. There was a tin basin of fresh water and a toilet with a closed wooden lid. There were poppies in a wall vase, giving off their sweet smell of cherries. There was no smell of human waste. Zero. You decide, well, that is odd then, isn't it? Is it just that the poppy was such a good smell? Fuck off. Oh, I'm getting the weird shit here. Yeah, I know. I need some fucking prunes here. Good lord. Oh. I'm gonna have to put something down here because I can't also eat prunes and hold all this shit up. You know what? Fuck this goddamn umbrella. Maybe I should just grab the smaller one. Or maybe I shouldn't have done any. Maybe I shouldn't have grabbed one at all because it seemed like more trouble than it was worth. And I need some prunes. Which I generally do eat every single day to begin with. But I was recently away from home on a trip and had my regular prune diet and whatever else was in my diet. After so long, I started to have a fairly steady, albeit not serious, a case of totally having the shits. Right, I was having the shits there every time I took a shit. It was just straight the shits, you know. It was the diarrhea, and that went on for a good 7 or 8 days, which I don't think that's ever happened to me before. Like, not that it was a terrible experience and all that, because like I didn't really feel particularly unwell, and I wasn't having to take like. I think at the most it was one day I did have to take like 4 big watery shits. I was varying weights, I guess, fluidic weights or anyways, but I guess what I'm coming to around down is now that the shits are gone, and it's amazing like just how like during the span of like 40 hours one can go from like to like shitting just brown just straight brown shitty liquid, like straight up like liquid, like not fucking not like thick like a milkshake, like I'm talking liquid, man. Like the shit, like I don't know how I held it in my fucking ass to begin. Like, how do you hold that in to begin with? Because as soon as you shit down, she just explodes, like a horrible, like shitty water shrapnel or some shit like that. Here. Anyway, so like it goes from that to basically just rock hard constipation somehow, and that had to be this less than the span of a day or so. Yeah, maybe a day even. Because it was like when was the last time I shat? Maybe early yesterday. And that was a solid shit. No, mostly a solid shit. But then the shit before that, which was probably just like like a quarter of a day before that, just straight fucking water shrapnel. Right? And I'm talking like fucking rock hard. Like just 10 minutes before I started just reading the side, I went and take a shit. And I had to take my time because like I can't just push, not like I used to when I was on the pills. I would just get constipated all the time when you're smoking the oxys, and that's just what you have to do. You just fucking, you just like muscle, you somehow muscle the shit out of you. Don't ask me how that fucking works, but like how does that work? Because you can feel yourself tensing, and then like you're like directing. Like how exactly does that work? Like how do you push the shit out of your body? Like am I just some kind of giant worm? Am I? If you cut off my arms and legs, I bet I could probably squirm, man. You probably could. Because clearly I have some sort of like, vertebrae can fucking control over the rest of my fucking body. Or at least in my torso, right? Through my vertebrae. It's probably through my vertebrae. That's my spine. You know what? I bet I'm actually close to being right there. I bet that has something to do with it. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright. So, just eating another couple grains here. And we'll fight for where the fuck we were when we stopped. And, see if we can possibly somehow make it to the end of this chapter. Which was only 2 pages away when we started it. We said it'd be a good, 25 minutes ago? Huh. Chuck! Alright, we're out of here. Oh, okay. Right. The privy. It doesn't smell like shit. Interesting. And I just sort of had to share my whole recent bowel history. Did I? I guess I did. Whatever. Like I do eat prunes fucking every day anyway, so that would have came up eventually. Alright, so here we go. And rears aside. I washed my hands and face and dried with a small towel. Oh my god, rears aside. Like my vision is so fucked. I thought that said I thought it said novel. I thought towel was a novel. For a good fucking my first glance at it, and then I was like, that doesn't make sense. And then looked at it again. I was like, fucking, it does look like it's a novel. And then I kind of just kept looking, and I see now that it's towel. But like I had to, I had to really kind of focus in on that one word, which is typically isn't how people read. You just sort of brush your gaze over the sentence, and your brain just picks it up. Like it's so few words, it remembers it immediately. For a certain amount of time, and clearly, and that's how I've noticed. Like that's how reading happens. Once you're good at reading, once you don't, once you have the familiarity with enough words and shit, right? So that your brain's able to do that, just take whole lines and just automatically, you know, translate them into meaning, right? Because that's what's really is is being attained here, right? It's the meaning, and the meaning of the words gives you the story, right? And so as long as you keep translating the meaning, and then it's like you're in the story, right? You know what I mean? And so it really helps. Like it just always looks brutal when I'm fucking someone who doesn't read well trying to read a book. It's like, dude, don't do that to yourself, man. It's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be like watching a movie, fucking pausing it like every fucking 30 seconds. Because you know what I mean. It's like that's not the experience of a movie, man. It's got to flow. Book is the same way. It's got to flow. Right? So, don't read fucking Stephen King if reading's just not a thing that you take a lot of interest or pride in, or both. If you don't enjoy it, that's what it comes down to, isn't it? Because you're not going to enjoy it if you're not very good at it. And likewise, if you're not very good at it, you don't, you you didn't ever enjoy, or you probably wouldn't enjoy it, right? Yeah, probably wouldn't enjoy it. Yeah, that makes sense. I think more or less. Well, you just kind of pick up on shit like that. Um, uh, okay. I'm just gonna grab a piece of gum here. Alright. And we just I washed my hands and face and dried with a small towel, embroidered with more butterflies. I almost said umbrella. I dry brushed my teeth. Gross. I was only in the privy for 5 minutes or more, maybe even not that long. But Dora was fast asleep in her little bed when I came out. Radar was sleeping beside her. I lay on my own makeshift bed, which was a thickness. Fuck, damn it. Which was I keep losing my sight here. Where am I here? Like I was mid-sentence. Reader's aside. Reader's aside. Okay. Where the fuck was I here? Eyes. Stop darting. Just pick a sentence and look. After fucking forcefully command my eyes. No, we weren't. Yes, that's what we were. And Reader said, I lay on my own makeshift bed, which was a thickness of blankets and a neatly folded one to pull up over me, which I didn't need right then because the embers of the fireplace were still putting out good heat. Looking at them as they waxed and waned was hypnotic. The wolves were quiet. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, man. Sitting up straight. We decided I decided to just change my whole game plan. Instead of because the slouching, I think it's the slouching that makes me kind of so sleepy like that. I'm sitting up good and straight right now. Actually, real fucking damn good and straight. And for all your information, that was just Reader's aside. Looking at them as they waxed and waned was hypnotic. The wolves were
Magazzini na Gluglax.
again with just a short walk up the hill, a mile down the buried corridor, and 185 spiral steps to the top of the well. But that wasn't the truest measure. This was the other land. This was Empus, where not one but two moons raced across the sky. I thought of that book cover
the one showing a funnel filling with stars. Not stars, I thought. Stories. An endless number of stories that pour into the funnel and come out in our world, barely changed. Then I thought of Mrs. Wilcoxon, my third grade teacher, who ended each day by saying, "What have we learned today, boys and girls?" What had I learned? That this was a place of magic operating under a curse. That the people who lived here were suffering some sort of progressive sickness or disease. I thought I understood now why Dora's sign, the one Mr. Bowditch had printed for her, only needed the shoe poems on the side that faced the abandoned city. It was because people came from that direction. How many I didn't know. If I assumed the cloud obscured blob of sun, the cloud obscured blob of sun was setting in the west. If I assumed the cloud obscured blob of sun was setting in the west, then the young man and woman I'd met, plus all the rest of the people in the shoe exchange program Dora and her brother were running, were coming from the north. Evacuating from the north? Was it a rolling curse? Maybe even some kind of radiation originating in the city? I didn't have nearly enough information to be sure of that, or even half sure. But it was an unpleasant thought just the same, because that was the way I was planning to go with raids. Would my skin begin to turn gray? Would my voice begin dropping in register toward the corral? Dora, what the fuck was that? My God, it was the fucking umbrella. I'm just gonna hang it up. Dropped it again. Now seeing that. Alright. Over here. And readers aside, would my voice begin dropping in register toward the growl of Dora and Leah's lady-in-waiting? There had been nothing wrong with Mr. Bowditch's skin and voice, but maybe this part of Ampus had been okay, or mostly okay, when he was last here. Maybe this, maybe that. I suppose if I started to see changes in myself, I could turn around and beat feet. Help her. That was the Grey Maid. That was what the Grey Maid had whispered to me. I thought I knew a way to help Radar. But how was I supposed to help a princess with no mouth? In a story, the prince would find a way to do that. It would probably be something unlikely, like Rapunzel's tears turning out to have magical sight-restoring properties, but palatable to readers who wanted a happy ending, even if the teller had to pull one out of his eye. I wasn't a prince anyway, just a high school kid who had found his way into some other reality, and I had no ideas. The embers were their own magic, waxing when the wind swirled down the chimney, waning when the gusts died. Looking at them, my eyelids seemed to gain weight. I slept, and at some point in the night, Radar crossed the room and laid down beside me. In the morning, the fire was out. By the side of me she was laying against was warm. Here's the side. That's the end of chapter 6 there. Chapter 14. I guess I was reading part 6 of chapter 14, and we had 50 minutes, which is a pretty standard fucking episode time, isn't it? Yeah, maybe we'll fucking maybe we'll top out, or just sign off. I guess we'll sign off. Top out. That sounds so cheap. Fucking it just sounds so cheap, and I keep wanting to say degenerate, but I feel like it's just way it's just way too outrageous to say that. Maybe it's more about like a Russian concept. I don't know. What was I talking about again? Tap out or what the fuck I was thinking about there for a moment. Oh man, that was fucking weird. Has something to do with one of the possibilities for how I could come out of the other side at the end of this. If I do happen to lose consciousness, there are certain other scenarios, dreamlands that my own brain will flash through. And be like, hey, well, we could go here and do this. Oh, come on. And, it might have nothing to do with anything reality based. It might just be, it might just be fucking, my last chance to see Egypt or something. I don't know. What the fuck am I talking about? Yeah, I guess I'm done for the night. Here we go. Oh man. Sometimes I think it adds an extra layer of confusion when you're talking gibberish and you realize that you're recording. So I tried to analyze there what I had just been thinking, because I think it's a fairly common process that my mind goes through when I'm tired, and I think it just made me actually made me more confused and less likely to remember anything that's happened in probably the last hour or so. Really, just because I fucking carry a circle doesn't mean I abandon my squares. No, I just keep them in different pockets, and and I think that's good advice to live by. And until next time, motherfuckers, mind your own damn business.
And they even went to the moon. And there was a time in this country, a long time ago, when reading wasn't just for fags.